As every inspiration-starved artist knows, Pinterest pins are being bombarded by AI arts, even in my For You page, and it kind of hurts seeing fewer original pieces or inspiration on my favorite app. So instead, I'm using this as an opportunity to implement character designs in my art that I found from AI. I don't know if I can say to make it my own art, but I can definitely say that it's a good learning experience on character art, which is really my first time. Before we get started, I'm going to show all the AI arts that I'll be basing my character art designs on so that nobody fights me in the comments. So in this first AI art piece, the poster added the prompts in the comments that they used to generate this piece. There were also noticeable AI mistakes. The next one was really pretty when I found it, but when I looked at the description, it clearly said that it was rendered in Midjourney. But when I looked closer at their page, it said that these generated pieces were for artists to use for references and inspiration. The last one I found was this Swan Ballerina Girl piece. This one had a few noticeable AI mistakes, like the hands, but just to make sure, I looked through all of their pins and I couldn't really judge the 3D art, but the 2D ones had the same pattern of badly drawn hands. So I was like, yep, I'm using this one. Just to clarify, I changed up the poses and the clothes of the drawing to make it not look exactly like the reference, and pairing it with my art style. So this was basically a drawing in my style kind of video. And I did do the sketches beforehand. Sorry about that. I changed it up in different ways, so you'll see that later in the video. So I first started with the dragon one because I thought it was the prettiest. So here's me doing the base colors after the sketch. This is a weird thing that I normally do, which after the loose sketch I add in the base colors behind, mostly just to see how the base colors look. You can also see me going back and forth to the color palette tab that I have, which is normally where I get my colors from. And here's how it looks with the base colors. I was honestly really hyped with how the base colors looked, so that motivated me more to finish the piece. Now I'm making a new layer and doing line art, which is something I don't normally do, but it was actually really fun. So enjoy some line art, I guess. It's actually also really nice how you have the sketch behind, so you know exactly where to add in the line art, if you know what I mean. Here I'm adding line art to the tail. I also tried adding in the line weight, I think it's called, to the line arts. Yeah, so that was a first for me. So yeah, it was actually really fun to do the line art. I'm going to try and do that next time, which is honestly a lot more easier for me. Instead of doing the sketch and then use most of my rendering on fixing the sketch, which is something I always struggle with. So yeah, I'll try to do that more next time. Now I'm adding in the shadows. I was going to make a video about shadows, about how I do shadows. So to say briefly here, I just try to have a more saturated color for the shadow. So how the main base color looks, it would be slightly more saturated, and towards the end of the shadow I will have a complementary color. So for instance, so in the skirt or shorts that they're wearing, in the bottom part of the shadow I added a slightly blue color which blends in with the other shadow color. I do that a lot, which I think does enhance my shadows. I did the same kind of shadow theory with the skin color and doing the same with the blue jacket as well. I added some whites to the shoulders, which I'll added feathers later. If you saw before, I added some whites to the shoulder. I added some white paint to the shoulder, so I'm using that to add in feathers, which was how it looked in the reference. Yeah, it made the shirt look a lot more dragon inspired. Overall, I'm pretty happy that I added that. Now I'm adding some more touch-ups here and there. Um, yeah. Yeah, and in this part, I was trying my best to draw some eyelashes, but it didn't really work out. I was already pretty happy with how the line art looked, but I wanted to enhance it a bit more. So I added in some more complementary colors or analogous, I would say a mixture of analogous and complementary colors to the line art. So in the tail, I added some purple line art. I added some more darker red line art to the skin and some orange to the line art on the shorts as well. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this one. I would definitely say that it's my favorite one, and I tried some new things that I'm not usually used to, so it came out nice, so I'm very happy with that. So next I'm drawing this fox girl. At first I didn't really like how the anatomy looked. It looked very like off, so I changed it up by moving the head a little bit lower, um and drawing the bangs a little bit lower as well, which made it look a lot more better. um I already added in the base colors off camera. um it was at first just trying to be experimental, but I actually found the base colors that looked really nice, so yeah, this was off camera. The base colors is basically just orange, a brown color for the clothes, and green for part of the clothes and for the shadows, and obviously pink for the blushes. I'm adding in the shadows now. For some reason I added purple to the shadows, which should have been a green, but I think with this one it was more of a complementary style of art. And with the highlights I added a more yellow orange to complement the purple. Also, in my normal art I don't really have a line art layer, so I enhance the sketch a little bit more after adding in the base colors or adding in the shadows as well. It really depends on what I'm feeling. At this point, I realize it doesn't look like she's wearing anything underneath her cloak, so I added in a purple shirt underneath. After I was done drawing the character, I went on to the tails now. This part is really just me rendering the tail a little bit more. So how I normally do my art, which is no line art, so I have to fix up the sketch here and there, which looks very messy to watch, so I'm sorry about that. With the shadows, I do what I normally do, which is adding a more saturated color as the shadow. This time I didn't add in a complementary color for some reason, but it kind of looked fine without it, so I left it out. Also, if you notice, the left side of the tail looks a lot more nicer than the right. I'm not sure why. I spent like an hour trying to fix the right side to look as good as the left, but it didn't really work out. So I gave up towards the end, and here's how it looks. Okay, so this last one, um, from the start, I didn't really like the loose sketch that I gave it, so I was mostly fixing the sketch this whole time. Yeah, this is kind of a roller coaster. The amount of fixing up the sketch I had to do, it really shows how bad I am with anatomy, especially like animal anatomy, like wings and stuff. Yeah, I had to use a lot of references. What I was going for in this drawing was kind of like how the reference looked like. It would be a girl who is in a ballerina dress with the wings to like symbolize a swan. I think it all symbolizes elegance and grace, like how ballet dances are. After drawing the other wing, I thought that I would be done, but no, I fixed up the sketch even more, which took so long. I don't know why I was doing this. The end result was really nice. And then I finally added in the base colors. I wanted to give the ballerina more darker skin, because I want to draw a variety of skin types. In the AI reference, the colors were mostly white, but I wanted to add more color, so I made the wings blue and the dress blue as well, and obviously pink to make it more complementary. So I added shadows the normal way I do it, and I just left it at that. But in the end, it looks pretty good. So in the end, I added all three of them together, putting them side by side. They all looked so different. Because one of them I added line art, colored line art at that. The other one, the line art blended in, which it looked really pretty, not gonna lie. And obviously with the last one, I didn't do much after the base colors, so yeah, putting them side by side was really weird. But yeah, overall, this was all to practice character arts and designs and anatomy as well. If you do want to see what my original art looks like, then check out my socials, and I made a previous video on how to color like my art style. Yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching, and I see you guys in the next video.